The Trump administration is digging in under a barrage of questions and criticism after top officials discussed Yemen attack plans on a text chain that mistakenly included a prominent journalist. The heaviest criticism is falling on the shoulders of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. President Trump, though, is defending both of them. Ed O'Keefe says, though, it is still possible someone could be on the chopping block, and he's at the White House for us with his reporting. Ed, good morning.
Tony, good to see you. The White House hasn't ruled out that someone may, in fact, lose their job over all of this. Half a dozen national security officials tell CBS News that because the text messages included specific targets and weapon systems, they believe the information is classified, despite the president and others insisting publicly that's not the case.
Hegseth is doing a great job. He had nothing to do with this.
President Trump throwing his support behind Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth amid questions about information he texted to other senior officials in a group chat that accidentally included a journalist. Those newly released messages reveal Hegseth outlined exact timing of an attack on Houthi rebels in Yemen before it happened, including when F-18 fighter jets would launch and when the first bombs would fall. On Wednesday, Hegseth once again defended his decision.
There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information.
But he ignored questions from CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson.
Mr. Secretary, did you share classified information? Mr. Secretary, did you declassify that information before you put it in the chat?
It was Jeffrey Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic magazine, who was accidentally added to the signal group by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Goldberg initially withheld what he considered to be more sensitive texts, but published them Tuesday after the Trump administration denied they included classified information.
So the reason to post it is because I think people should see for themselves. They're saying nothing happened. I'm saying that this represents a serious breach in national security and communications.
Chuck Hagel, a former Republican senator who served as one of President Obama's defense secretaries, agreed.
The wrong people get this. That's enough time for them to react to this and do some damage to us.
Put your defense secretary hat on for a second. If you read that, what is this information?
If that's not classified, I don't know what is. This is very dangerous stuff. And this is not to be kind of shrugged off. This is as real as it gets. It talks about the weather. It talks about the time. No, this is classified as far as I'm concerned.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats once again raised concerns.
I think that it's by the awesome grace of God that we are not mourning dead pilots right now.
And while Secretary of State Marco Rubio says service members weren't put at risk, he admitted,
obviously, someone made a mistake. Someone made a big mistake and added a journalist.
Going forward, the president says he plans to ask Secretary Hegseth to review what kinds of information should be classified. He also said an investigation by the Pentagon watchdog that's been requested by the Senate Armed Services Committee wouldn't bother him. It's unclear, though, who would lead the investigation since the president fired the Defense Department's Inspector General back in January, Tony.
Where is an inspector general when you need one, Ed? While we have you, there's a legal setback for the Trump administration on the deportation plans they have. This was yesterday. What more can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so this has to do with the president's use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport migrants. A federal appeals court is keeping in place a district court judge's order temporarily blocking the president from doing that. The decision came on the same day Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem traveled to El Salvador. She used her visit to the prison where hundreds of Venezuelans with alleged ties to the Tren de Aragua gang were deported to post this social video, warning if you come to the U.S. illegally, this could be one of the consequences. The legal battle over how they were removed could go all the way to the Supreme Court. Tony?
All right, we'll keep following it, Ed. Thank you.